we become politicians or before we become member of any political party. The kind of things that happen in Nigeria is so obnoxious that if God looks down from heaven, you realize that we are really paying for our sins.
Speak your truth and be heard on the Eagles Morning Rise, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eagles 102.3 FM, your radio experience you can count on. Competitions? They don't exist. With Eagles, you soar.
Any money where I get, I deflect, I devote, the best.
My dream is chopping the truth in my
Eagles 102.3 FM, your radio experience you can count on.
It's exactly 7 minutes gone past the hour. It's 9 on the AM side. It's the 1st of April now. Happy new month once again. And guess what? It is a way back Wednesday on here and right here. Yes, my name is Udwak Daniel. And yes, remember, I mentioned earlier on when we started during the newspaper review that we were looking into matters that concerned newly approved loan. Mr. President at first sought the approval from the National Assembly in view of a $6 billion loan, and it does seem as though that approval has been met with success. Right, I mean, he wrote to the Senate, he sought approval to borrow $6 billion comprising $5 billion from Abu Dhabi Bank and $1 billion from London Citi Bank. And this is to address the budget deficit, debt financing, and rehabilitation of port projects. Now, you should recall that in May of 2025, Mr. President requested the Senate to approve a $21.5 billion external borrowing plan for 2025 to 2026. And yes, we had that conversation on here and right here. Well, we have had a history of borrowing. We borrow to finance our budget deficit. 2025, of course, Senate approved $21.5 billion external borrowing plan, and that was to fund critical sectors. According to the Senate, it was like infrastructure, like agriculture and security. Now, the current loan request is part of ongoing efforts to stimulate economic growth and address infrastructure challenges. You know what? Have you been to Abia State lately? Have you been there? Governor Alex Oti, you know him? Yes, he's the governor of Abia State. Have you been to Abia State lately? Why am I mentioning and calling the governor of Abia State? The capital is Umuahia, in case you didn't know. Governor Alex Oti, has proven to every other governor, including Mr. President and every other person who's sitting at the helms of affairs in this country, that development and infrastructural development and growth is possible. Very possible. It doesn't have to take us years to no, it doesn't. Just recently, that man has been working. It's not paying me to blow his trumpet. I'm just telling you what is going on in terms of development. If somebody's doing something good, you should appreciate the person and tell the person, do more. Go ahead. Because it does seem to me as though these days it's only corruption and nepotism, tribalism. That's what we push for. That's what we hail. That's what we celebrate these days. And it's sad. Now, Governor Alex Oti has put on infrastructure development in Abia State in ways that the past governors and administrations can only dream of. Just recently, he's also put it out there that, you know what, we want to leave the national power grid. No, we don't want to join you guys in this whole power grid issue collapse here and there, and then we're talking and blaming the gencos, the telcos, the discos. No, I don't want that no more. We are generating our own power. That's what a governor who is right thinking is doing in a state. And how many years has he spent in putting all of these infrastructures together? And the Abia State people, have you even heard that? Abia State doesn't even feel like they're Nigerians anymore. I mean, the feeling they're having is that of good governance. You might think that this is a deviation. It's not a deviation. If every other governor in their respective states can do the same, I think Mr. President will be able to focus on better things or other things. This is not to say that the purpose for his borrowing is not adequate, but it is about the fact that he probably would not be borrowing for infrastructure. And when you talk about infrastructure, you would discover it's in the states. The states are the ones who culminate the most part of these monies that are being borrowed. Are you aware? And to think that the state governors have security votes, they have constituency vote monies, they have different types of bonuses, surpluses here and there. This is apart from their salaries and the allowances that is accrued to them. Yet, they're still borrowing through the federal government. Borrowing. Subsidy is gone. People felt the heat. I did. I don't know about you. But Mr. President said to us that, oh, my children, don't worry about this. Besides, subsidy living was it's not just my intention. It's not my idea alone. It's been there from the Buhari administration. If you didn't know it now. So you don't say it's Tinubu that brought subsidy is gone. No. It was there from the Buhari administration. It just wasn't able to bring it to light. Mr. President came in, and as part of his campaign promises, he said he was going to remove subsidy. Peter Obi, the then 2023 presidential candidate under the LP, also said the same thing. Atiku said the same thing. So they would have done the same thing. Now Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu clinched onto the power, won it through the legal process, through INEC, so he's a legitimate leader. So please let's not come here and talk about illegitimate, is illegitimate. No, that's not it. We've gone past that. The court, Supreme Court declared him that. INEC declared him that. Please, what other declaration are you looking for? So he's a legitimate leader, please. So you don't come here and insult him. The man got it legitimately. But my point, or the point now in contention, would be the fact that he had told us tremendous things about what subsidy removal will bring to us. And that would be the fact that we will have very, very minimal borrowing. In fact, borrowing might just be a thing of the past because there'll be so much money. Is there so much money? Oh yes, there is. These monies are located to state governors so that they can indeed tackle matters that concern infrastructural development, concern healthcare, concern schools, concern, the basic things that should sustain life. Oh yes, it has been disbursed to them. But is this money tantamous? Is it replicated in the said development and infrastructural growth and prosperity of their citizenry of respective states? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not sure about that. Well, I'm not sure. I know it's not. So here we are borrowing again. Yes, we are borrowing again. And quite a number of Nigerians have put out their voice in this matter. I'm telling you, questions have been asked. How is the loan going to affect Nigeria's economic growth and development? Questions such as that has been asked. Can Nigeria repay loan without compromising its financial stability? Will the loan-funded projects improve Nigeria's infrastructure and trade competitiveness? Oh yeah, such questions, such as how will the government ensure transparency in loan utilization? Because enough is enough. We just keep collecting loans, and what exactly are we doing with it? Where is that transparency, the accountability that shows us a step-by-step expenditure of these monies? We don't have that. We're just told that this billions of naira has been pushed into road, pushed into infrastructure development. What infrastructures are we talking about? Oh, it's been pushed into healthcare. Please, can you give us proof? Just like Nigerians have been asking, when you talk about, we're giving monies to vulnerable, the vulnerable of the society, the poorest of the poor, we have given grants to them, we have helped them with 50,000 naira, what are their names? Shouldn't there be a published website? Shouldn't there be something like that where we can get accountability from? Shouldn't there be a platform where information can be checked in on? Even if you're not publishing it, at least we should. Those who care, let's even go and see. For years we've been battling with this. How will the loan affect vulnerable populations? What are the environmental implications of the loan-funded projects? Oh, there's too many questions to be asked, I tell you. If we're talking about governance, how will the loan affect Nigeria's governance and institutional framework? Yeah, such questions. Because Nigeria's current economic situation is challenging. I mean, we're having inflation on the one side, we're having a weakening naira on the other, and increasing debt servicing obligations. And Mr. President is requesting for $6 billion loan, 5 billion from Abu Dhabi Bank, $5 billion that is from Abu Dhabi Bank, $1 billion from London Citi Bank, and it's already sparking debate about the country's borrowing habits and fiscal responsibility. Well, the government is telling us that the loan is intended to address budget deficits, debt financing, rehabilitation of ports projects, including the Lagos Ports Complex and Tin Can ports. However, critics are arguing that the borrowing will worsen Nigeria's debt burden, which already stands at 144.7 trillion naira. That's approximately $94.2 billion as of December of 2024. Right now, it has climbed to about 155 or more trillion naira now. So how are we going to sustain that? So we will be looking into this. I mean, it's going to be a heart-to-heart conversation, you and I, because I'm not really sure where exactly we're going with this borrowings no more. And I'm sure that these are your thoughts too as well. I'm not sure where we heading. Imagine Nigeria's economy as a big household budget. The government is asking for a big loan of $6 billion to fix some important things like roads and ports, but people are really worried about how they pay back. On the sidelines again, we have taxation because people are asking questions. Nigerians are saying, family members are saying, okay, so who's going to pay these loans? How are we going to pay back? What's the plan in paying it back? Do we have a plan to pay back, or is it just about servicing loans? Is that all we will indeed be known for and good for? Is this how the future generations, when they take up the reins of power, they remember this generation and the leaders as the borrowers? Those who keep borrowing and borrowing and then get the citizens to pay back one way or the other? Or could this borrowing indeed be in alignment to open new vistas, new doors, sets Nigeria apart, and indeed for once in an entire billion years, we would have been thought to have done the right thing, and that indeed this infrastructure will indeed come to bear. In fact, there's been angles to this. Some have said if this borrowing was just for insecurity, to tackle it and head on and bring it to a standstill once and for all, oh, that's perfect. But we are borrowing monies for what exactly? Budget deficit? Lagos ports and tin can ports? Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio is a concern. And the International Monetary Fund, IMF, warned about the country's debt sustainability. So the government is assured that the loans are concessional with low interest rates and long repayment terms. There are also concerns about the lack of transparency in loan utilization because critics are arguing that previous loans have not yielded significant benefits for Nigerians. So the Senate has emphasized the need for accountability and ensuring that loan funds are used for intended purposes. I can tell you something for sure, that the loan's impact on vulnerable population is uncertain. Oh yeah, we are treading on uncertainty right now because some are arguing that it may lead to increased taxation and hardship for citizens. Others even believe it will stimulate economic growth and improve infrastructure. And if we're talking security or insecurity now, we've been facing significant security challenges. The Boko Haram insurgency, terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, all of it are terrorism acts. And the loan's impact on security is unclear, but some argue that it could be used to fund security initiatives. So this is where we are right now. This is exactly where we are right now. Because right now, the economic impact is that we are having an increased debt burden and potential instability. We are standing the risk of debt distress, reduced investor confidence. However, look, there's no two way about it. There is reduced investor confidence. Do we have the transparency and accountability now for these loans? Are these loans even necessary? Well, there there's a need for regular audits, public disclosure of loan utilization. Can we have that? Well, the social impact also borders around the good gains from the loan might be that it has the potential for job creation, but is that job creation sustainable? Is it long term? Is it short term? Is it decisive? Will it reach to the far ends of the real people that really need these jobs? Will it be exploitative with bottlenecks, bureaucracy, playing a card on the table? Is this loan going to strengthen institutions? Is it going to improve governance? And some have even questioned and queried the timing for this loan. 2026, next year, 2027, elections just around the corner. What were you expecting? Wouldn't there be room for speculations if past borrowings have only hit the rock? Been trying to connect with our guest though. Oh, I never even knew that connection was made. But Comrade Gerald, good morning, welcome.
Yes, a very good morning to you.
Yes.
And thank you for having me.
Well, apologies though, I left you on standby for too long, didn't know the connection was made. But Comrade, I'd like you to just speak your truth to power, especially in view of this loan that has been secured. In fact, Atiku Abubakar came through and said in 5 hours this approval was made. One of the fastest approval, if you ask me. What do you make of this for Nigeria?
Honestly, listening to you attentively and carefully. You know, when you started your intro with regards to making a comparison of a governor from one of the states in Nigeria who has shown that physical discipline and management or capacity to deliver is different from what shenanigans, propaganda, incompetence that we are seeing today. And it breaks my heart. Honestly, I try not to have headache with regards to Nigeria issues again, but the more I try not to, the more I see reasons why I must fight for my children. I cannot continue to see things go wrong and we behave as if it doesn't concern us, or maybe we are not involved, whereas we are involved. You have asked the right questions, but let's put it the way it is, clearly.
Yeah.
As of today, Nigeria is having a 2026 benchmark for our budget with regards to sales of crude oil is around $64 at the Citi dollar. Last year was 75. Even though they are all running concurrently, so it's 2024. But as of today, as we have this conversation, we are having excess sales. Nigeria is making more than $57 to $60 million every year as a result of war in Iran. You recall in the SS crude account under Obasanjo to Yaradua, we once had over $20 billion in that SS crude account. As a result of having excess sales with regards to our crude oil. And today, we are borrowing $5 billion. If you remember, let me just take you down the lane. Under 6 years of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, if you put all his budget together, it's not more than 25 trillion naira. It's about 24 trillion for that 6 years, for 2010 to 2015 or thereabout. Under Buhari, you put all his budgets together for 8 years is around 97 trillion. And our president today, just 3 years, we are having over 90 trillion. Don't forget that these people I mentioned, Goodluck, Buhari, they all paid fuel subsidies. They pay power subsidies. They pay health subsidies, education subsidy, etc., etc. They, according to this government that are doing us Maradona, they defended Naira. And they had this kind of budget in these years. And this government came on board and said there's no subsidy. And we draw all subsidies in all of this. That is to say, we expect to see more. Instead of seeing more, we are seeing more borrowings. Just 3 years. The record of the budget is far more than 8 years of Buhari and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Yet there's nothing on ground to show. It breaks my heart. I don't know how to express it, but I'm trying to, manage my emotions and the pains. In election year, this is not the end of the borrowing, So do not be surprised before the end of this month of April. You will see another borrowing. And at the end of the day, they will not be able to, as at now that we are running 3 budgets, including supplementary budgets, how do you follow the loans? How do you follow the money? Even if you are computer or AI, it makes it almost impossible for accountability. Honestly, it breaks my heart. Do we really have the National Assembly? Is it possible the Nigerian masses go on the street and say, okay, let us show that National Assembly, I know that we only have executive and judiciary? Because there's no scrutiny, there's no oversight, there are no questions. It becomes garbage in, garbage out. If it's possible for the executive to place us on sale, this National Assembly of today will approve it. Can you imagine that we are having excess money with regards to crude oil as of today? And we are still borrowing. We are not paying subsidy. In order to stop Nigerians, they claim that they are placing us on different bands in power. Those that they place in band A, that they get 4 units with 1,000 naira, or less than 4 units with 1,000 naira, they are still extorting them as of today, but they are not enjoying that 20-hour power supply as we talk now. Is it not? I don't know how to place it, but it's very painful, because in a layman, if you bring any contract, it's something that's liable to legal interpretation. If we are to use the power as a yardstick or a case study, you claim that the reason.
Oh, just lost that connection right there. Well, we're still looking into the approved loan. Mr. President wrote the National Assembly showing intent for some borrowing, and the National Assembly had already approved it. That's where we are right now. and this is where the conversation is still trending. Remember, we have a television right there on YouTube as well as on Facebook. On YouTube, it is Eagles TV Abuja. Get on there, hit the bell button, and be sure to be a part of what we are doing there. On Facebook, it is Eagles FM Abuja. On TikTok, X, Instagram, it is Eagles FM Abuja. And we have the website so you can listen in on, and that will be www.eaglesfm.com. All right, we'll go take a breather now. We'll be right back in a short bit. Don't go away.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
No AC? No problem. We're cooling you down with the freshest hits.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAs, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAs and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Christ Embassy Ministry Center Abuja na gabatar da babban taron mu'jizai na Easter ranar Asabar, wato Easter Saturday Miracle Crusade. Ku zo ku kasance tare da mu a filin wasa na Moshood Abiola National Stadium Abuja ranar Asabar 4 ga watan Afrilu shekarar 2026 da karfe 4 na yamma. Domin karin bayani ku kira waɗannan lambobi 0800-349206 ko kuma 0813787406. Za a samar da motocin sifiri kyauta a faɗin Abuja. Wannan rana ce ta kaddara, kar ku bari ya wuce ku. Ubangiji ya albarkace ku.
Are you dreaming of studying abroad for free? Fully funded and partial scholarships are now within your reach. Join Praxis Educational Agency in collaboration with the Federal Scholarship Board of Nigeria for the 2026 China-Nigeria Scholarship Exhibition. Meet real Chinese university representatives live, get answers, secure admissions, and explore life-changing opportunities in China. Join us live on the 4th of April 2026 at Barcelona Hotel Wuse 2, Abuja, Nigeria. Time 11:30 a.m. For further inquiries, you can contact us at 070-8475-0669 or email us at info.praxisagency@gmail.com, or you can search us up at any of your social media apps, Praxis_agency. Don't miss this life-changing opportunity. See you there.
Please listen to this infomercial.
Girl, your skin is glowing. What's your secret?
It's no secret, It's Gentle Touch Spa and Salon in Abuja. They gave me the best relaxing massage last weekend. I felt brand new.
Really? I've been needing that kind of pampering. Do they only do spa stuff?
Not at all. They do facials, body scrubs, waxing, and even natural hair treatments. I even got my braids done there, neat and classy. They also handle dreadlocks, wig revamping, hair coloring, gilly tying, manicure, pedicure, gel nails. Everything beauty in one place.
Wow, so it's like a full spa and salon in one?
Exactly. The vibe is luxurious, the staff are professional, and both men and women go there. Now the thing is, for every service you get at this spa, it's going to come with a generous discount. Once you experience it, you understand why it's called Gentle Touch.
I'm booking my session today.
Exactly. Please do that. And for you to book your session, call 080-9269-9269. Another number to reach out is 090-243-281 24106881. You can also visit them at number 2 Bolton Street, Sun City Estate, here in Abuja. Girl, go book that session. You will thank me later because everyone deserves the gentle touch.
Gentle Touch Spa and Salon. Luxury for everybody.
The conversation is still here. 40 minutes gone past the hour of 9. It's going to be a brisk conversation. So as you put that call through, please be sharp, be straight, be direct. Ask that question and let's have a worthy conversation. Another $6 billion has been approved now, and Nigeria will be borrowing that money. And what do you think about it? Where are we going with this? And do you think there's light at the end of this tunnel, or is it just a pipe dream? Because there has been concern from the IMF, the World Bank. There's been concerns from economists. There's been concerns from Nigerians about how much we are borrowing and the speed at which these borrowings are being approved. It's given jitters of late. What will be your thoughts in this, about this? What do you think it could be? Are we just looking at it only from the negative angles? What about the positivity that lies beneath these borrowings? One of such has been the place where it has been said to us that it is for infrastructure development. I mean, there's going to be a lot of infrastructure development and all that. Mr. President is promising that, and that we need to just calm down, and we will see the dividends of what this borrowing is all about. All right, because if we are already jumping about this conversation, we may be missing the mark here. But what are your thoughts? 0907-353-0044. The other number is 0908-766-8888. WhatsApp portal number 0909-705-4450. Hello, Saminu.
A very good morning to you, my dear brother. Happy Wednesday. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you, my dear brother Saminu. So where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Lifecraft here in Abuja.
Talk to us, Saminu. Go ahead.
When I had your conversation, when the line cut off with Honorable Ajero, if I'm right, honestly, I'm also feeling the way he's feeling.
Right.
The question I want to ask, why was the budget already approved within a few hours?
You mean
you mean
the loan? Why
yes,
is it okay?
The loan.
Okay.
The loan.
Yeah.
Why was it already approved? And how long shall we continue to borrow and nothing to show for it? And then the another question I want to ask, if EFCC is recovering any money at all, how much money have they recovered? And where is the money? What have they done with it? I'm very sure, in my own opinion, in the last 10-15 years, money that has been siphoned or stolen that are in this country and other parts of the country, I told you, my brother, if that money is returned with all sincerity and honesty, we will find ourselves in this situation. As your guest said, there is no accountability. Who's going to take all this and that's happening? And the major thing we are facing is corruption in all its entirety. We are a very rich country. We have all it takes to make this country great. You know, I've said it some time ago. Where are the mineral sources? Are we not exploring them? And then why is the World Bank approving the loan to this country when they know we are not doing the right thing with it? It's very, very unfortunate. And I feel sad, like the speaker or your guest said, it's not a good thing for this country. Please, our leaders, be honest and sincere to Nigerian people. They are watching. One day, we are going to account for company. May God continue to bless your station. May God continue to bless our country with good leaders, because we are already a blessed country.
Right.
Our leadership is the main problem, most especially National Assembly. or the Senate in particular, please sit up and do what is possible and make this country great.
Many thanks.
God bless you. Have a lovely day, my brother.
Have a good one too, Saminu, all the way from Life Camp. And Saminu has asked a very serious question right there. And one of such would be all of these monies that have been recovered by the EFCC, where are they being channeled into? I mean, one of such, according to the EFCC now, some of the initiatives that we have, government agencies, that's been going on, has been stolen monies that has been recovered. Student loan scheme is one of it, 50 billion naira allocated to the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, to support students' education. Consumer credit scheme, funds were invested in the scheme to provide affordable credit access to Nigerians. When it comes to infrastructure development, recovered funds were used for critical infrastructure projects like the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, and funds were allocated to agencies like the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, Federal Inland Revenue Service, National Health Insurance Authority, and all of that. Office allocation, some recovered properties were allocated to government agencies for use as offices. Some. We keep hearing some. But what exactly is the sum? S-U-M. How much of this, which of these monies that have been recovered were used for this and that and that? I think that's what Nigerians are asking to know. We don't get to know. The only one we know is the 50 billion naira that was allocated to NEL Fund, student loan scheme. More questions coming through, more concerns. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, UT.
Good morning to you, Turkenby.
Yeah, happy new month. God bless your heart, sir.
All right, thanks a lot. Where are you from?
I keep up with the good. Yes, I'm calling from Nassau.
Thank you.
Local government. Yes,
Go ahead.
Taking me on the line. Yes, I want to quickly start by saying that the people who are to represent us have lost. I'm surprised. See, UD, in my office, if your boss asks you to go to the market and buy some items, for example, if you return, you will give account of that one before they can give you money to go and buy something else. If Akpabio and other senators, other 108 senators have, approved loans from Mr. President before, and Mr. President has returned like Oliver Twist that I want more, is it not incumbent of them, to say, okay, the ones that we approved for you before, what have you done with it? Give us a breakdown. Let us tell Nigerians, what have you done with it? What is remaining? How much have you paid? How much are you going to pay again? And how many years will it take? You have all this breakdown, but whatever that is sent to Akpabio and other senators, they just take it who can sing. This is unacceptable. We are calling on the Senate President, the Honorable Senate President, to do the right thing. If next time Mr. President return like over Tuesday that I want more money, I want more loans, ask him the ones we give you before. Tell us what you have done with it. Let us know. And give us a breakdown. But anytime they come like over Tuesday, you just give them go ahead to borrow more. 9 trillion naira. You see, even other presidents that paid subsidies, fuel, electricity, other rest did not borrow this much. So now you have removed fuel subsidy and Nigerians are paying with our blood. And then you are still borrowing more than the whole people that have ruled before you put together. I don't understand this thing. Thank you very much, Uji.
Many thanks, though. Appreciate that one from you. Remember that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar had also added his voice in this matter. He warned that approving a multi-billion-dollar borrowing request in record time without visible scrutiny raised serious concerns about due process and a commitment of the legislature to its constitutional duty. And I think it's also taken sides with what Turkenby actually put out there. He says, while these objectives may appear routine on the surface, Atiku is warning that they expose deeper structural weaknesses in the nation's fiscal management. Resorting to fresh borrowing to service existing debts, plug budget gaps, meet routine obligations is not a strategy. It says it's a dangerous cycle, and it reflects a troubling absence of fiscal discipline, clear prioritization, and sustainable economic planning. In fact, He further also noted and anchored in case concerns on emerging fiscal indicators. He was noting that between January and February of 2026, the World Bank reported that Nigeria's exposure to the International Development Association IDA has risen to 18.7 billion US dollars, and that has placed the country among the largest recipients of concessional loans globally. Right. So that is that for that. So in March 2026 alone, the president is requesting an additional 6 billion US dollars external loan, even as the Debt Management Office continues aggressive domestic borrowing through high-volume bond auctions, as evidenced by the March 2026 Federal Government of Nigeria bond offer circular, and that's largely to finance immediate government obligations and service existing debts. So, is this a pattern or what? What exactly is this for us? What does it mean exactly for Nigeria and Nigerians is the question that we are asking right there. And we're still looking at that matter that concerns loans in this country, the borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing of loans in this country. I think we've had more loans than we have ever had any grants. Oh yeah, we've had more loans than we've ever had any grants. Well, I'm back with Comrade Gerald. Welcome aboard, Comrade.
Yes, honestly, I have also listened to family members. And to be honest, to think that this borrowing we keep getting, we get them in dollars, and we are to pay in dollars, knowing fully that our naira continues to depreciate. Meaning that when you try to pay back, you will pay, it will be very difficult to pay. If we are borrowing in dollar and maybe our naira is appreciating, it will make sense. So if you look at the equivalent of what we are, the approval that I've given to the President Bola Tinubu by National Assembly led by Senator Babio. Today, if you look at naira equivalent, and when we have to pay back, maybe in future, we don't know the future, when the future will come. You see that it may be more than double, including the interest. So it appears like we are not being honest to ourselves. Just like one of the family members asked, as Oliver Twist, you are coming back, there should be accountability the ones you have borrowed before. What have you used it for? We are borrowing, yet we are seeing darkness. We are borrowing, we continue to see bad roads. We are borrowing, continue to see insecurity. The economy continues to go down. Health sector continues to go down. Education, you go to some classes, there are no roofs, they don't have windows. Some pupils and students sit on the bare floor. And we are borrowing. How do we justify this? I will not be surprised if there are more moves to borrow more before the end of the year. Which, if you put it to ratio, the chances are higher that we will borrow and borrow until the end of this administration. So what's the essence of removing subsidy in the first place? Just last year calendar, many of the revenue agencies, generating agencies like customs, now change former National Land Revenue Services, now change, and many others announced they had surplus. Even the non-generating revenues like JAMP are remitting back to the government. So if we are having surplus, as they claim, why are we still borrowing? Honestly, it beats my imagination. If not for consumption, I don't know what it will be.
Right. So what's your final thoughts now? But just before your final thoughts, let me reel out this message from Joseph from Jai. He says, "Good morning, UD. My major problem is this is not the end of the loan. Tinubu administration may hit 250 to 300 trillion naira on loan in his 8 years. This kind of loan is worse than genocide if compared, because I don't see any impact on the previous borrowing. How many years will incoming generations be able to pay these loans and gain freedom? This loan is preparation for future poverty for innocent children. This loan is equivalent to genocide the way I see it, because it's people that will suffer on its disadvantage." Okay, that's what he says. Well, in one short final swoop, what would be your final thoughts now?
I thank God that we are heading to election year.
Okay.
The fate of this country is in the hands of the Nigerians and the electorate. We must not continue like this. If you look at aid-wise, our president is closer to where he comes from. We expect that he leaves a good legacy that will touch lives to come. I'm not the one that will bondage us.
Okay.
What we are seeing today is not really showing that maybe he's doing something that, apart from the coastal highway, which is the Elephant Project, every good Nigerian is supposed to give kudos to it. But what's the brain behind doing such roads when we have death-trapped roads, where people are dying every day? Where journey that's supposed to take you 6 hours will take you almost a whole day. You have lots of money, energy, time. That's why even as that life expectancy in Nigeria have dropped to 55 in the global ranking. National Assembly should help us. We shouldn't have this kind of whatever garbage into you garbage that it doesn't help the system. Okay. Even if you must approve, let there be some form of scrutiny that will give people impression that you are there actually representing them. Let there be public debate. You can just do formality purpose. Televise to show Nigeria that you ask questions. What is this money for?
All right.
Why are we still borrowing when we are having excess?
All right.
The ones we have borrowed, what have we used it for? Why are we not even meeting up to 50% in all our budgets? And we continue to talk at budget in tens of trillions.
Well, comrade,
when the ones we have presented, we are not able to take care of it. Can't we cut our cost according to our material and size?
Well, time will
honestly, it breaks my heart.
Time will not allow, comrade, but Comrade Gerald, but thank you still. We should cut our coats according to our size and make sure that we do the needful, if not query sometimes or most times these loan proposals. But I will not end except we end with this one from Yusuf all the way from Wusay 2 says, "Good morning, UD and the guests. Good morning. On the recently approved foreign loan, it has become obvious that the president visits the UK with large entourage marked by significant pomp, pageantry, and is just to go and borrow. The terms of these loans, the people involved in the execution of connected contract and the repayment plans are not disclosed. It is unfortunate. Increased debt burden will definitely lead to increased austerity measures, and Nigerian masses are the worse for it. Have a nice day." Well, the views expressed by the caller in the list and the guest has not been influenced by Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, but we want to say thank you still because this conversation is unending. My name is Udwak Daniel.
Eagles 102.3.